So my name is Ethan. So it's great to meet you.
We set up two strangers on a blind date. They aren't allowed to see each other until the reveal. Will they find love?
Hi, my name is Emily. I'm 22 years old. I am from Columbia and I currently live here.
So my name is Ethan. I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm 21 years old and currently I go to the University of South Carolina here in Columbia.
I would describe myself as an outgoing person. I love being outdoors, traveling, and animals.
I would describe myself as a very fun, energetic person. I'm definitely very outgoing, love a sense of adventure.
I am looking for a guy who is funny, has a good job, and brown hair.
I'm really looking for a long-term relationship at this point, who I could really do anything with, open up to, and go on really fun adventures with.
One thing that makes me different is I know who I am and I'm not trying to be anybody else.
I try to take up every opportunity that comes my way. One of my favorite movies of all time is Yes Man, and I really like living life like that, saying yes to any opportunity that comes up.
I am here because I love trying new things and having new experiences.
The reason why I'm here tonight is really just to get to know someone on a personal, deep level, and it's my first date this year, so it's gonna be a great time.
My biggest turnoff in a man is when he paints his fingernails.
If she complains all the time, makes excuses, and also something else is if she's indecisive. I want someone that has direction.
Something I'm looking forward to getting to know about my date is if he has any special interests.
So I know that you definitely enjoyed tonight. Make sure to like and subscribe and watch all the rest of the content. I'm really looking forward to learning about her background, what she loves to do for fun, her hobbies, just about her life.
We asked the dates to play two truths and a lie.
I'm an only child. I love to travel. I prefer the summer over the winter.
Well, I hope that the summer over winter is true because I also agree with that. I love the summer. So I'm gonna go with the lie being that you're an only child.
That's true.
How many siblings do you have?
I'm the youngest of 6.
Oh wow, that's a lot. Wow.
Yeah.
So, my two truths and a lie. I've been a mascot before. I've pulled 3 all-nighters in my life, and I've been skydiving.
I'm gonna say that you've pulled 3 all-nighters as a lie.
That is actually true.
Oh, okay.
Although 2 of those all-nighters, they were on accident. I didn't plan to pull them. One of them,
on
it was
accident.
for one of them. What ended up happening, it was pretty much towards the end of senior year of high school. I had to do it at least once in my life on purpose. It was definitely in a very exhausting time. I had work the next day. Somehow pushed through it. But yeah.
Very cool.
We asked the dates about their ideal first date.
My ideal date would be you pick me up in your car, maybe get drinks at a bar, something low-key, see if we have good chemistry, have good conversation, and I think that's plenty for a first date.
So what are some of your favorite types of places to go? I guess besides the bar, of course. What else are you into?
I love being outdoors. I have a dog, so I'm always taking my dog to the park.
Well, what type of dog do you have?
She's a German Shepherd Pit Bull Chow mix.
Gotcha.
Yes, her name is Astro.
Oh, that's a really cool name. I love that.
Yeah.
So, Astro, okay.
So what would be your ideal date?
I also love the outdoors too. So one of my favorite activities, going mini golfing. So just a fun way to have a game, get to know each other at the same time, and also maybe get some food afterwards, and then end with a great movie. So.
That sounds great. My thoughts on hooking up on the first date, I don't think you should. I don't think that's a good thing to do on a first date.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You really have to try to get to know someone, and I feel like if you do that, you sort of ruin the opportunity to truly get to know them well. There's already that tension there in a way.
Right.
So I personally would just try to get to know them for a long time before that point.
We asked the dates to bring a gift for each other.
I got you something that I found in an old house, and I thought it would be appropriate for this moment.
Gotcha. And I got a collection of different items,
Oh,
really
okay.
about revealing about who I am too, but so that way you could have momentums too.
Very cool. Very cool. I think my favorite has got to be this cool car and these glasses. So do you play basketball?
I actually love to play basketball for fun. It's definitely my favorite sport for sure. What's interesting is that you got me an item that's like a heart, like letter too, and I kind of like that it's empty in a way too, so it's open for interpretation. So
Exactly.
I love that. The 2 lines blanked, but you'll figure that out soon.
So this transmission arcade bar coin, do you like to go to transmission?
I actually found that coin on my walk to class today.
Wow,
So,
okay, very cool.
consider it a sign of luck.
We asked the dates to give their first impressions on each other.
My initial thoughts are I think he's very sweet, he seems very thoughtful. I think that he has great potential to be a good boyfriend.
You don't stop, I come on. You don't stop, you don't stop, you don't.
He has a very unique voice. It makes me curious to know what he looks like.
So my initial thoughts about her so far, of course that I love that she loves the summer. Because that's my favorite season. And then also, I definitely agree about the part about not hooking up on the first date.
Something that stood out as a green flag would be he brought multiple mementos for me to see more about him.
The green flags is that she loves traveling, she seems to have ambition so far, that she loves the summer.
I wouldn't consider this a red flag, but probably mini golf.
So one of my favorite activities, going mini golfing. So just a fun way to have a game, get to know each other at the same time.
It just doesn't interest me. I have no interest in mini golf at all.
I guess this is not necessarily a red flag. Personally, I don't drink, so that probably wouldn't be the best first date spot for us. I'm sure that we'll be able to find a compromise and that I could still go to the bar, have a good time with her still.
I would like to know more about his family.
I'm really looking forward to hear about where she's traveled to, some of her adventures from the past. I'm really looking to hear all the interesting stories that she has to offer.
We asked the dates a few questions to help them get to know each other.
I have been single for 5 months.
Would you be able to tell me about your past relationship, anything like that? Is there any reason that it broke off too?
I broke up with him because I got bored and I wanted to see other people.
No, that's completely valid, of course. So definitely great that you're putting yourself out there tonight too. It was
Yeah.
definitely very brave. I mean, we won't even get to know what each other looks like till the very end. So this is definitely a very unique experience. So, but what have you thought about this experience so far, being blind part at least?
Well, I love new experiences and this is definitely something new, so I'm excited for it.
Gotcha. I've been single for coming up on 4 years at this point, actually. I've had a couple of situationships here and there, but I wouldn't consider those real relationships.
I guess why did you and your ex-girlfriend break up?
It was a long time ago, back in high school. I think that she just grew a little bit bored, and I guess we were still young then too. We were trying to figure out, and then we just had different paths, so it just didn't end up working out, but that's okay.
That's okay, some things aren't meant to be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like there's always a reason why something would or wouldn't work out too, so.
My friends would describe me as very outgoing. They would describe me as a very outgoing person.
Gotcha. I guess that they would describe me as very outgoing as well. They would say that I'm a very interesting person, for sure, and that I always have these moments to my life that always occur that are very extraordinary.
Very cool. I can relate to that.
What's the most fun thing that you've done in this past year, if you had to choose something?
Well, I recently got back from Albania. That was really cool. Got back from Michigan. The Upper Peninsula was beautiful. I took a road trip to New Jersey. I went to Positano. Multiple things.
Good to know. And about New Jersey, this is a hot take that I have, but I think that New Jersey is actually underrated as a state. I think that people
I
hate on-
agree with that. It's very underrated.
Yeah, what parts do you usually travel to when you go to New Jersey?
Around the Vernon area, do you know where that is?
I actually do not. Is it like
Yeah.
north, central, south?
It's up towards New York.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I guess the area that I visit, it's Millburn, New Jersey. It's about 30 minutes away from New York, so maybe
Okay.
they're actually pretty
Yeah.
close.
You never know. If I had $1 million today, I would give $500,000 to my mom.
No, that sounds great. Are you very close with your mom?
Yeah, I would say so.
Definitely something that I love about that, because you're willing to share your wealth, and really it just shows that you care about other people.
Yeah, well-
and that's really something that matters.
What would you do with $1 million?
So my answer is a little bit different than yours, but I would do something more career-based. So earlier I was talking about how I love basketball. It's a long-term goal right now. It's a 7-year plan. I would love to open a location where it's like a basketball video game in real life, where there's different hoops, different prizes for everyone, different like
Wow.
mini games. So yeah, that would be the grand long-term goal.
That's very cool. I've actually never heard of that before, so.
Well, it's just an idea that I have right now, but
Yeah.
looking to expand upon it.
The most illegal thing I've ever done, go to abandoned houses and take the things that are left behind.
How old do you think those houses are that were abandoned?
They've probably been abandoned for, 10 to 15 years.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you? Do you ever break the law?
I would say that honestly, I'm a rule follower for the most part.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of any large walls that I've broken that aren't like boring or anything. Of course, I've jaywalked, stuff like that before. I guess that the one night that I did stay up the full night on purpose, I guess I technically trespassed, but I mean, the park was open from dawn to dusk, but I wanted to see the sunrise, so I feel like that's a valid reason.
No, the sunrise is totally a valid reason.
For becoming intimate in a relationship, I would say it's about not necessarily how long you've known them for, but I guess how many different separate occasions that you've seen them. Because I feel that you really truly get to know a person 10 to 15 times of seeing them, although that can vary. That's just my personal take on it. That you really have to be able to build a relationship, and that both sides have to put 100% effort in.
Every relationship is going to be different, and you can't really put timestamp on when you can be intimate with somebody. Because being intimate can mean a lot of things. It doesn't just have to mean sex.
That is true, of course.
know?
But I definitely do like your interpretation of how it could be different for every person, because obviously every situation is different.
Yes, I have been in love.
And I guess, was that your previous relationship or another relationship before that when you were in love?
I would say it was my previous relationship.
And I guess what was the specific point that you knew you were in love? Like, how were you able to tell?
It's just a feeling. When you know, you know.
Gotcha. No, I have not ever been in love before. There have been times where I thought that I might be, but I never 100% knew, and I feel like you said, you just know when you would be in love.
My biggest red flag in a partner is low-key disrespect.
Okay, that's 100% valid, because you really want someone that treats you right.
Right.
Could you elaborate more into the disrespect, like any specific traits?
Just disrespect in general. I don't think it's okay to be disrespectful. You know, you should treat others how you want to be treated.
Of course.
What's your
yes.
biggest red flag?
I guess doesn't really take care of themselves, and this could be something like smoking cigarettes, vaping, potentially lead them down a wrong path in their life.
Gotta stay focused.
Of course, because you really want to stay focused on your career, everything like that, and not be able to get sidetracked.
My biggest turn on is a manly man,
Gotcha.
a masculine man.
So what else does that encompass for you, someone being a masculine man? Like what specific qualities?
I don't know. You just know.
You just know.
You can just point out a masculine man. Yeah.
Gotcha. I would say that my biggest turn-ons would probably be someone that genuinely cares about you when you get to that point, in a relationship. This is something that you may not expect, but being able to be in silence together, just doing your own thing, but being in the same room too, like parallel play. Getting to that level of comfort is something that would really be incredible.
My last hookup, my last relationship.
I guess, was this after or during your relationship?
My hookup, definitely after the
Okay.
relationship. Yeah, I wouldn't, not the cheating type.
Okay, just making sure, of course.
Yeah.
But
Oh no, but I would say my last hookup was probably 2 months ago.
gotcha. I've actually never hooked up with anyone before, so can't say anything towards that then.
I lost my virginity when I was 16. Nothing too crazy, just the usual teenage bedroom dancing.
Gotcha.
Yeah. What about you?
I actually have not lost my
That's-
virginity.
That's right.
I guess everyone moves at different paces, and as long as it's with someone that you love, that's what matters, so.
That's very true.
We let the dates have an open conversation to help get to know each other.
So my name is Ethan. So it's great to meet you. And I guess something that sometimes that I like to do, I try to guess someone's name based off their vibe.
Yeah, so I'll let you guess my name.
Of course, yeah. You know, we can make it like a game where I could have 3 tries too. I guess the vibes
Okay,
are...
I'll give you 3 tries.
all right, and then I guess you could give me hints leading to it because that'll be fun, so.
Yeah.
My first guess is summer. You love the summer too. Your personality seems like it would fit that, so
Okay, no.
gotcha. I guess what's the starting letter of your name?
I'm not gonna tell you.
Gotcha, all right, so I have to keep guessing. Okay. I guess my name starts with the E. Maybe this means that her name has to start with the E too. So I'm gonna go with Elizabeth.
Ooh, close but no.
Okay. Alrighty. I guess this is my final guess now. I'm still gonna go with the E name because it seemed like it was close. Maybe it was just at the beginning of the alphabet. But I am going to go with Emma.
Ooh, almost, but no again.
All right.
So, tell me about your family. Do you have any siblings?
So I do. I have a younger sister.
Okay, just you two?
Yup, just the both of us, yeah.
Yeah. Were you guys both planned?
I think so. I
Okay.
mean, I know that originally my parents, I actually saw a letter from my dad that originally they planned to have 3 kids, so I guess now it's just 2. So I guess that they realized that they were done with 2. But I guess something that really interested me is that you're the youngest of 6 too, so.
Yes. I have a very large family.
And I guess what is the different age range between you and the rest of your siblings?
My oldest sibling, she's 39.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I guess what are the rest of the gaps?
My brother, 35. He's in prison.
Oh, no.
Yes. 2 brothers, Stone and Mason, 26, 25. My sister Alyssa, she'll be 24 this year. And then there's me.
Gotcha. Would you say that you prefer beaches or mountains?
That's a good question. I would say mountains.
Okay.
Yep.
Solid.
I'm kind of scared of the ocean, honestly.
Oh, what are you most scared of about it?
The things inside of the ocean.
No, that's valid.
Yeah.
I would say in regards to the ocean, my biggest fear would be jellyfish. Just because when I was little, I was reading stories about people who got stung. Had a couple friends who had been stung.
Have you ever been stung by a jellyfish?
Thankfully not, but
No, I have.
plan to keep it that way.
I had a jellyfish wrap its tentacle around my neck.
Around your neck?
Yeah.
When was this? Wow.
Probably 2 years ago, honestly. That's probably why I prefer the mountains over the
No,
beach.
that definitely makes sense. How'd you get out of that?
How would anybody get out of that? I screamed and started swimming. You know, I was in the ocean. What am I gonna do? Drown?
I mean, that's true, so.
Yeah.
We asked the dates their final thoughts on each other.
All right, so my final thoughts on her so far is that she seems like a very adventurous person. Still curious what her name is. Probably starts with the E is my guess, but we'll have to go and see.
My final thoughts, I'm not sure how compatible we are, but I'm really excited to see if there's any chemistry when I see him face to face.
I would say that part of feeling a connection is seeing them face to face. During the non-scripted conversation, that was probably definitely the best part for growing the connection?
The progression of the date has been good. I feel like we had some good conversation. I was a little surprised at some of his answers, but nothing bad so far.
From the start, it was a little bit awkward, but mainly it was just because we were going back and forth. In a way, it kind of felt like more like of an interview, so I was like, oh wait, this is a date. It was really interesting to hear the story about the jellyfish.
Something that stood out as a green flag was he's very focused on his career, and he seems to be very passionate about his life.
I don't really know her well enough to really see any red flags yet, so definitely would continue to get to know her more.
I wouldn't call this a red flag, but I just feel like he's not man enough. I don't think it would work out in the end. He's like moaning over there.
Something that I would want to know about her that wasn't covered, I guess what sort of career she's looking forward to, along with more stories as well, of course.
Sorry.
Looks, that's what first gets you, that's what first makes you attracted. Then personality is what keeps you attracted. And then afterwards, looks is just an additional bonus.
I want to know if he's musically talented. Like I get the vibes he can play the piano.
Before looking at her, would you consider going on a second date?
Yes, I would consider going on a second date with her.
Before seeing him, I would I would consider going on a second date. I'm interested in getting to know this guy more, yes.
We blindfolded the dates to prepare for the reveal.
I feel like the date went very well. I'm excited for the reveal.
Now I'm excited for the reveal too, to finally see each other's faces, This is the first blind date and it was definitely very exciting. What do you think about that?
I think it's also very exciting. Yeah.
I really like the element of surprise here too. Like, I guess we all both have an image of what the other person looks like in their head, but we just don't know, so.
Yeah, okay.
Is there anything specific that you guys want to get to know each other before you see each other?
I'd love to know about some of your hobbies, some of the things that you love to do for fun.
Okay, so I love to go hiking, I like to go camping, I like to go to music festivals with my friends.
What's one of the most fun ones that you've been to?
Probably Music at Midsummer, Camp
Okay.
Transylvania, small low-key stuff like that.
Gotcha. Have you ever been to the Love and Life Music Festival before? Or
No.
Gotcha. I just worked that one time, so
That's
it's a fun
cool.
experience. And also, what are some of your career goals too that you have?
Right now, I am focusing on myself, so I'm traveling.
Of course.
But I don't really have a career goal because I want to be a mom. I want to be a stay-at-home mom and raise my children at home, so.
Speaking of children, I don't know if I want to have children yet. That's something I still have to think about too, so.
Okay.
All right, you can take your blindfolds off in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, it's so great to meet you.
Hi, oh my goodness. You were not what I was expecting at all.
I didn't really know what to expect for the looks-wise, but
Yeah.
it's great to finally meet you.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Look at this guy.
I mean, it's still gonna take a moment to. Definitely have to get to know you more. So.
Right, right.
Well, I like the nail polish that you have, though.
Thanks. It's
so.
Lincoln Park After Dark.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to listen to that song. I guess something that I didn't ask you beforehand, but what's other music that you love to listen to?
Oh, right now I've been listening to the album Wow by Between Friends on repeat.
Okay.
So that's probably the only thing I've been listening to.
We'll definitely have to listen to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you want any song recommendations? Any
Yes.
genre?
What is your favorite song right now?
I guess I have two of them. I'll go with the all-time favorite song. I
Okay.
actually saw it on the show Dark Matter. It's called Don't Harsh My Mellow by Kids These Days.
Okay.
I just love how it keeps on building up and up and up.
Yeah,
so,
you love a good climax.
yeah. And then, no, that's funny though.
Yeah.
And then the other song that I really like right now, do you know who Malcolm Todd is?
Yes.
My favorite song is Earrings by Hims.
Do you know who Audrey Hobart is?
Isn't that his sister?
Yes.
Gotcha.
I love Audrey Hobart.
I actually need to listen to Audrey.
I'm actually going to the Audrey Hobart concert in London. So.
Really? Okay. Traveling there just to see that, or are you traveling there, like, is that in addition to that?
No, I'm just going there for fun, honestly.
Gotcha.
What would you guys rate each other 1 to 10?
I guess it's too hard to know now exactly what to rate each other 1 through 10 because I feel like we obviously have to get to know each other more.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
You can rate me.
You sure?
Yeah.
I would say a solid 7.5.
You know, I was gonna give you a 7 too.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And 7, it's a lucky number too, so who knows what will happen with that, so.
Who knows?
Cool. Well, would you guys go on a second date? 3, 2, 1.
No.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is Emily from the Dating Blind Show, and thanks for watching.
This is Ethan from the Dating Blind Show, and thank you for watching.